Good evening, I'm Chief Meteorologist Ed Bloodsworth with WKRG News 5, and this is your tropical update for Friday evening, August 25th. All eyes on the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. We have an area of disturbed weather now being called Invest 93. It now is a high chance of developing into a tropical entity as this moves into the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, it's almost a certainty at this point that we will at the very least have a tropical depression. More than likely, though, a tropical storm will continue to develop as this moves north through the eastern Gulf of Mexico. First run of forecast models are showing some semblance of agreement now that a center appears to be forming with this thing, and most of our global models are painting out an area anywhere from Tampa Bay to about Apalachicola or Panama City, Florida, for an area of possible landfall. Now, there are still a lot of question marks regarding the system because it really hasn't truly formed yet, and I do think we will have a much better idea in terms of where this is going and what impacts the southeast will see from this system. But Gulf Coast impacts, even as far west as Alabama, cannot be ruled out at this point. So as we move through the weekend, I think we will like to see more models. We'll see this thing become better organized. I do believe that parts of Florida and even to southern Georgia could see some significant rainfall as we head towards next Tuesday and into Wednesday. We have a cold front coming in and a deepening trough, and again, how deep that trough goes will also dictate exactly where this thing goes. So still some question marks and some details to iron out, and I do believe we will be able to do that as we move through the weekend. Make sure you stay on top of things with WKRG. Tropical Storm Franklin has been undergoing some significant wind shear today. Max winds now 50 miles per hour, still expected to intensify in the coming days, perhaps into a Category 1 and then eventually Category 2 hurricane by Monday and Tuesday, as this makes a close pass to Bermuda. From there, it'll race into the North Atlantic and weaken. Three other areas of interest in the Gulf, in the Atlantic Basin. The remnants of Emily basically dying out at this point, but we also have Invest 92, medium chance of development, and a low chance of development with a new tropical wave emerging off of Africa. So the system in the Gulf, if it does get a name, which at this point we're getting more confident that that will happen, it will be the ice storm, Idalia. By the way, a little bit of trivia, the Idalia actually replaced Irma, which formed back in 2017. Followed by Idalia will be Jose, Katia, Lee, all the way down through Margot and Nigel. Make sure you stay on top of the weather conditions on the tropics. You can do that by going to WKRG.com and checking out our hurricane map room. It's always available for you 24/7. And remember, we will stay on top of this developing system in the Caribbean and Gulf through the weekend all the way through next week.